Hi, everyone, and welcome to Spirit Talk Australia. My name is Renata Daniel.
And I'm Anne Rekovich.
We are your hosts for this episode, and this evening we have the absolutely amazing, magical, and inspirational Cherayln Darcey.
Cherayln.
Cherayln Darcey.
Good start, Renata.
Cherayln Darcey, the Botanical Alchemist, gardening author, and artist. And she's going to be talking to us all about
Hello.
the amazing things that she does. Hello, Cherayln.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to my home. Welcome to my little studio. Actually, that's
Well,
where you
thanks
are
for
tonight.
having us there. It's looking very nice, I must say.
Very Mexican. That's my inspiration.
There goes one of my questions I had lined up ready to go.
I'll be quiet now, and you can keep asking me questions. That's it. I don't think you want to look at my ceiling because I haven't painted it yet. So there.
Well, take you next door to Anne's place, and you'll see what a room that is completely empty really looks like.
Oh, okay. I'm on my
Now
way.
tell us, what is a botanical alchemist? What is it?
Well, actually, people started calling me a botanical alchemist, and it wasn't me labeling myself as that. So I keep seeing it everywhere, and I've used it a few times. So it's somebody who works with magic, with plants, botanical plants, alchemist. Alchemy is changing things. So I've done a lot of study with flower essences and different herbal modalities, and received a few qualifications in them. And I'm very interested in the energetic properties, the ethnobotanical connections, that's people and plants. And so a botanical alchemist is somebody who works with plants to facilitate change.
So, what happened first, the artist, the author, or the
Oh,
botanical alchemist, or
the
did it
gardener.
all come at once?
The gardener happened first. My parents tree changed to the country when I was very little. So we went from inner city Sydney from the Balmain, well, actually Lilyfield, people who are familiar with Sydney, the Balmain area, to out past Mudgee. And we had the 25-acre block and the whole self-sufficiency thing happening back in the late 70s. Oh, that's giving me away, isn't it? Late 70s, early 80s. And my parents love gardening. So the gardening came first. And my parents are a little bit alternate, and they have a great love, and they still do, for things spiritual and also the land and the environment. So I grew up with it. I did, as I say to people, when I got to my late teens, I was a bit like, oh, greed is good. Let's go get, do all that. I didn't actually make it in any corporate world or anything. I was hopeless. So I actually had a trade and did things like that. But yeah, and returned pretty quickly back to my roots. But mum's an artist. My dad loves creating things as well. He's a bit of a mad inventor. So that inspired the sculptural side of me, because I do sculpture as well. And what was saying, author? I think this is going to be daggy. I've actually never revealed this. I was really in love with sort of the whole Laura Ingalls, Little House on the Prairie sort of thing, and writing and all these stories about these girls who wrote about things. And yeah, I've always had that little, since I was young, to be an author or write about things and journal. I journal all the time.
Wow,
So it's all like from when I was young.
that's amazing. Do your parents still live in Sydney?
Oh, sorry, I just lost you there for a minute.
All right, how's that?
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great.
My
Sorry, what was
parents were
that?
saying to me, we need to turn the microphone up, and I was trying to work out which way to
Oh,
turn
which
the mic.
way?
So now I
Okay.
worked it out because you couldn't hear me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Was it about my parents living in Sydney?
Yeah, do they still live in Sydney?
No, no, no. They moved to, oh, no, because we lived in the country, like out past Mudgee. Then my parents moved a long time ago. They lived for quite a while down at Eden on that's the far south coast of New South Wales. And now they live up in Cairns, where one of my brothers lives. They moved up there, sort of final retirement thing up. So up in the tropics, but still the same. Mum grows the most amazing. I'm pretty sure Mum's watching. So hi, Mum. Mum grows the most amazing bat flowers. It's just, I'm so jealous.
Wow.
And yeah, and Mum still reads tarot as well because I am one of those people that my mum taught me tarot. It's true. And my mum still reads tarot in Cairns as well, and works at a lot of the spiritual places and markets and things like that as well.
Wow.
Was that answering another question? Sorry.
No, that's fantastic. That's really
Okay.
fantastic. I came to know you through your oracle cards and the
Right.
oracle cards that I would find in the spiritualist stores around the Newcastle area. And
Hmm.
I just loved the artwork that you did there. Do you have any of the oracle card decks with you there at the moment that you can sort of show?
Oh, I do. I actually have Flowers of the Night here. That's what I have here. So I was looking at it for something else. Somebody was asking me because my daughter has bought me a beautiful fishbone cactus, and I was saying to her that's actually in Flowers of the Night. I don't have that plant, so she bought it for me for Mother's Day, which is
Yeah.
beautiful. So yeah, I do have that, and I have original artworks around here too from decks. So that might be exciting, mightn't it? Because people don't usually get to see that, like the actual originals. Yeah, but Flowers of the Night, that's one. So I mostly work in block print, and then so I hand carve and hand print, and I work with a lot of recycled materials to carve on and also to print, like recycled papers. So that's why you see different textures in my work. And it's also why some of the carving's quite naive in some of the block prints, because I really like to follow the form of the plant that I'm carving. And also some of the materials I'm using, of course, they're not perfect. They're not perfectly milled pieces of plastic or something like that. They're actually pieces of wood and things like that I use, found pieces.
Mm.
So yeah.
They're beautiful and they are very distinctive. So they really stand out on
Mm-hmm.
the shop counters. You can really tell when it's something that you have created.
Oh,
But
thank you.
before we go on, you have
Mhm.
actually a new book out. If
I
you'd like
do.
to talk about that.
I do. This is actually part of the Flowerpedia series, which I do have here. I think that's just what we're calling it. It's a nickname. So 2 years ago, I think it is now, Flowerpedia came out, which is 1,000 flowers and their meanings, and it was the book that I couldn't find. I just wanted something that was like a reverse dictionary. You could look up a flower, find the meaning of it, and using the botanical names, and then vice versa, look up meanings and find flowers, and then have different lists in the back, things like birthdays and zodiac signs and countries and all those sorts of things. Just a handy reference. Because it's 1,000 flowers and I wanted it to be this size, we couldn't illustrate it. And that was a thing. I know a few people have said, oh, it's not illustrated, but 1,000 flowers, there is a book out now. I didn't write it. And it is. I've seen it. It's a beautiful book and it's illustrated, but it's a huge coffee table book. But I wanted this to be something to carry, and that's what people did. So, but what we've done is the next one that I've done is, and it's in the same format, is The Language of Houseplants. And it is, what I did was, instead of 1,000, there's 44. So
Sorry,
it's
we are
like,
listening. We're just having a little bit of a
oh,
issue here with that they can't hear us talking, but they can hear you. Thank God.
angry. Yeah, I thought you might have been going, we can't hear you. And I was like, oh no, oh
It's
no.
because Renata's earbuds had a microphone on it, so I've taken them out
Oh,
now, and we should
okay.
be good.
Cool. So this is 44 of the world's, what I think, some people say, I know the publishing that we've been saying 44 of the world's favorite plants, but everyone's got different favorite plants. But what I tried to do was pick 44 plants, and we all know why I picked 44 because it's a nice oracle number and it has significance with numerology as well. But the reason I chose these ones is they come from different areas of the world. So I wanted to have a really balanced book so that you'd be able to look up different things. So not just all happy plants and all things that meant abundance, but I wanted to spread the energy and also have different types of plants. Like there's cacti in there and there's different palms and things like that. So that even if your plant wasn't there, you could find something that was in a similar family and you could get an idea of the energies. And it's a gardening book as well. So there's with each one that's in there, that's hen and chicks. So, and I've actually, this isn't my artwork. This is old botanical artwork that I have cleaned up, and they're really old. Some of them are like, not all of them, some of them from the 1600s, 1700s, but only a few actually, because most houseplants were only discovered, we can talk about that afterwards if you like, sort of in the 1800s, 1900s even. So there's not a lot of very old artworks, but I found the oldest that I could find, spruced it up a little bit, And they've gone in there just to get that feel of discovering old things. And so there's the energy. It's like what the plant, means, and where you can put it in your house to connect with the energy for the purpose. And also, I've of course taken into consideration its growing needs as well. So there's no use putting something in the bathroom because it's a nice refreshing plant for the morning for you if it's going to kill the plant. So this is a long time coming researching all that because I know it, but I've sort of got to, blend it out. And then there's, as I said, the gardening notes and a little bit of botanical history in there, the energy notes as well, and propagation notes and all those things, which are things that I know. And then at the back of the book, there's the same thing as Flowerpedia, these 44 plants, like plants that are suitable for, there's some, I'm not very good at this. I feel like Miss Jane. There we go, Mr. Squiggle. Play school. And now, everybody, hang on a minute. There we go. There's Venus flytrap. Yeah, there we go. So, yay. And there's the zebra plant as well. You can see, because I do like flowers, so I sort of try to find ones that were flowering. I'm like, yeah, let's have a look. And we often don't see our house plants flowering just because of where we put them in our house. So I try to do that so you could have a look. Now, in the backs, meanings, I've done the same thing as Flowerpedia, so you can look up the meanings really quick. There's also, pardon me, there's also birthday lists, anniversary lists, and zodiac as well. And the meanings and those sorts of things, hard to come by. A lot of research in this. And this is book one. There's going to be some more, and also on different topics. So it'll end up being like, la, 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 la.
Wow.
I'm not very good at this video thing. So, that actually wasn't, it was supposed to come out at the end of the beginning of this year, but because of the virus, it got delayed. I have a few, and then it was going to come out at the end of this year, but there's been a lot of demand for it. So it actually goes into Big W across Australia next week because they wanted it. And then
it here first, everyone.
All of the, sorry?
So you heard it here first, everyone?
We did hear first. This is news. And all the distributors, now it's been very hard to get any book, they've told me, into any distributor, but all the distributors in Australia, the UK and the USA said, we're not waiting. 1st of June, everywhere it's coming out. So I know a lot of bookstores aren't open, and I do have a few. So actually, I don't even know if I've got any left because I just get 50. That's what I do. I like to support my local bookstores and esoteric stores, as you were saying before. So a lot of them are selling online. So contact them. I love Dimmix and I love Booktopia as well. They're good ones to support. And but your local esoteric stores and particularly your independent bookstores. I'm a reader. I'm a big reader, and I hate them closing down. So if they don't have it, they can get it in from the 1st of June for you. There you go. You heard it from me. And you guys, it's an exclusive. They couldn't wait for the houseplant book, which is so exciting. It's very exciting. So now thanks. So how to find the perfect houseplant for you.
Where is the best place to keep the Venus flytrap?
The best, you know what? I'm just not going to tell. I know, like, let me just tell you what the book says so that you can see the sort of entry that's in here, because I just saw Split Rock. I've been so busy. I have looked through it, of course, and I've seen the PDF and checked it all with the editors and all that, as you do, backs and forwards. Just move my water there. But I haven't really sat down and read it from front to back because I've been so busy this week because it's just come in. So the Venus flytrap, which means intuition, and it can bring to you. So this is if you were doing an oracle reading, but also it means if you have it around, this is what it'll bring. So intuition, attraction, manifestation, certainty, awareness, and protection. So we have, and then uses. You can place a Venus flytrap on your desk. Really good on your office desk, like in your study if you're working from home. And you know who's got these? Here's another one. Bunnings. I saw them in Bunnings the other day. I was in Bunnings because I do gardening for other people. So I was in Bunnings because I was getting things for work. Okay, I wasn't being a Bunnings sheep. But they also have pitcher plants at the moment, little pitcher plants. You know, the little.
We've tried to grow those over the years, and we have never been successful. It seems like the moment we take them home, they kind of go and die.
It's probably because you didn't have this information. Never feed a Venus flytrap. You never give it You never give it flies and things like that. You got to let it catch its own, and don't fertilize it. A lot of people think, oh, it's this tropical plant, I have to put fertilizer, but you don't, because that's how you kill it. And usually, if it's got soggy feet, doesn't like, it needs to be wet, but not too wet. So look, you can put it on your kitchen bench or any place that you spend a lot of time, and it helps sharpen your intuition and awareness. Maybe if you're an oracle reader.
Who would have thought?
If you're meditating, here we go. If you're meditating, this plant helps deepen experiences. And in a work environment, the Venus flytrap, oh, that's right, it will help manifestation. So it helps, if you need to make decisions, and if you're also looking for promotion or changing jobs as well, if you're trying to, I don't want to be here anymore, I want to go somewhere else, Venus flytrap's good. So think of it, my work's all based on the doctrine of signatures. I don't just grab it out of nowhere. If I can't find the information through study, this is through study as well, what I do is I look at the shape, the form, where it lives, the environment, the scent, its botanical history, its ethnobotanical history, and that's how I work out the meanings as well, which is the same as florist's work, which is what I've done. So yeah, Venus flytrap. There you go.
Wow.
Get yourself some for intuition.
Okay, Anne, you'll have to
I
take
don't
over
know
because they
what's-
can't hear me. So.
So hopefully they can hear me. Can you hear me nice and loud?
I can hear you, yeah. I can hear you both really well.
Yeah. All right, well, that's fantastic. Now, look, tell me, if I was going to start off a garden as a beginner, what would be some good go-to plants that I could plant and not kill? They need to be hardy.
Okay, I'm only laughing because people ask me this all the time. And it's good because it's a really valid question. The biggest mistake everybody makes is they go too hard, too soon, too big. That's what they do. And I do see people do, and look, I see it at the moment. Everyone's in isolation and they're going to Bunnings to start their gardens, and I'm looking at what's in the trolleys and I'm like, stop it. You need to have a look around, go for a walk around your neighborhood, see what everyone else is growing as well. Start with herbs. So particularly if you want to do a magical garden, that's really good. And your culinary herbs are magical as well. In fact, every plant has magical and therapeutic and energetic qualities that are fantastic for us. But start small. Things that you're going to use as well. There's no use planting 20 tomato plants unless you've decided that you're going to be making pasta sauce for the next, forever much, however long. So look at your herbs. Stop spending $3 on a plastic packet of herbs. So parsley, I love tarragon. I always grow my beautiful French tarragon. Parsley's pretty easy one to grow. Chives. What else have you got there that you should be doing? Thyme. You want a magical garden. Fairies are not going to come to your garden unless you grow thyme, and you should grow a plant just for the fairies and never harvest it. Okay, so they'll put
Okay, so is thyme the best one to actually plant for the fairies to come?
Yes. And then a little thing that you can do is you can make a little fairy water out of the thyme. You can actually just put some thyme in some water, put it in the sun if you want to, and then just lightly dab it on your eyes, and that will help you see fairies and help them come in. But you should grow just one plant or a patch of thyme and not harvest it. Look after it really well. Put little offerings there, so little sweets or shiny things or little things. It's just for them, and you leave it alone. I've got one. You just leave it. Well, of course I do, because I like that. And it brings the energy into your garden. But then you have other time that you harvest for yourself for magical culinary things as well. A tomato, a couple of tomatoes are always easy to start off with, pretty foolproof. Try a tree, like some of the dwarf trees. I've just put a dwarf mulberry in and it's already going gangbusters. It's lovely. So something that's fruit. But get your herbs going, because even if you're indoors, you can do herbs. That's the thing. You can do them as indoor plants. You can even do tomato, but have a look at what you're eating. That's it. No use trying to grow bananas if
that's the secret to coriander, because I just cannot get it to grow.
You can't get it to grow. Usually bolts for most people. Now, I think it's Eden Seeds online. They have I've purchased it. It's very good. And it is a slow bolting coriander. There you go. Are you taking notes?
Yes, I'm writing it down.
I think Eden Seeds is a wonderful company. Yeah, there's another one, Australian Plants Online, I think it's called. But look for slow bolting coriander because, yeah, you'll stop. But bolting, because I know I keep thinking I've been talking to gardeners today. I've been at the community gardens. So bolting is just when it starts to flower. So when you start to see the middle part come up, and sometimes it can look like it's another plant entirely, especially in things like coriander or parsley. You need to cut that off because that signals the plant like, see you later, you're going to be an annual now. We're sending off our seeds, don't need you anymore. So you need to cut that out away as soon as you see it, and that slows down that thing. And also pick your herbs and harvest your herbs, because if you don't, so you need to dry them, share them, whatever, that'll cause the plant to get out of hand sometimes and die, and that's it. That's your other problem as well. Harvest them, they love it.
Have you actually travelled overseas? And I'm sure you have travelled overseas and done workshops and been called to go overseas to spread your knowledge over there?
I had this last year in would have been June last year. I was actually the keynote speaker at INATS, which is the International New Age Trade Show, Conscious Living and Trade Show. Like this. So it's the sort of things that we're interested in, and that was such an honor. So I did the keynote speech, and I was one of there was 3 keynote speakers at the breakfast, which was a wonderful opportunity and such a lovely thing to do. And my publisher in the United States, Red Wheel Wiser, they had a huge booth because it's just trade. There's not open to the public. So it's all these people from all over the place, over the world, mostly America and Canada, but all over the world as well, are coming to look at things. And I had such a great time. I stayed on the booth all the time. I'm so tired because I just love meeting people. And then I did workshops as well. So that was fantastic. And it was such a blessing to meet other authors and artists who are working with botanicals in a magical way as well, with green witchcraft and things like that. It was wonderful. Oh, and I went to Ritual Craft, the store because it was in, yeah, I know. I know. It was so good. And honestly, the people who who work there and who own it are the most amazing people, and so loving and so real. It was just the most amazing experience. I spent half a day there. It was wonderful, and they invited me back, but I would have been there this time this year, probably in June or July this year, but obviously, unfortunately, we're all in isolation. But I still keep in touch with them, and I did live in America for a few years, about 20 years ago, and I'm very much looking forward to going back there again. So it very, very good. And I've got a lot of experience with American plants from living there. So that was wonderful to go back and be invited that way. It was good fun. I'm smiling all the time because I had such a great time. It was fantastic.
Now I'm the naive one. I'm the seeker. So if I ask inappropriate questions, please forgive me.
No.
When you're talking about magical plants and using them in magic ways, how do you make them magical, or is it the properties of them that is magical?
Everything's magical. To me, magic is just the energy within, and it is using it in an ethical way. And the word using is not a very good thing. It's actually connecting with that energy and understanding it. It is harvesting in a way that protects the plant and the earth, and being very conscious of what you do. And it's just a connection. And you do probably know already, and most people do, if somebody is wanting to increase love in their life, they'll grab a rose quartz crystal. They understand the energy of a rose quartz crystal. Inspires love and brings love to them, and they'll use those in love spells as well, or fluorite to increase concentration and focus, and that's wonderful. And I work with them a little bit, just in a lay person. I do have a few lovely crystals that I connect with deeply and I love. The thing is, plants have all that. All plants do, trees, plants, flowers. And it's very easy to walk outside, even if you're in a big city, and you can find a plant that has the properties that you like to connect with. Indigenous Australians used to do this, many tribes, by just sitting with the plant. We have this thing of like, we have to harvest it and eat it or make it into something, which is great, and they did too. But simply just being with a plant, they're warriors in certain people in New South Wales would just sit with waratahs, which are all about that strong warrior energy, because they'd want to increase that warrior energy. So I've heard stories of that. It's not my story, but I have heard that story, and I thought it was a wonderful lesson of like, we don't need to chop waratahs down and to have and to make something. We can just be there and absorb that energy by understanding it. And but yeah, everything has a magical and energetic property, and it's just understanding it. And that to me is what the language of plants and the language of flowers is. Often misinterpreted down through the ages, but the language is just understanding what those properties are and what that plant is saying to itself, to its species, and to the rest of the earth. And we're just lucky enough, or if we are, to connect and understand that language. And that's just by studying those plants in some way and being a part of being a caretaker in some way. And that's why, even though I'm so busy, writing and illustrating and that, I've always done hands-on volunteer work with different environmental organizations, because I don't believe at all that you can be connected and write about these things and share and do workshops unless you're physically doing something. You're out there working with land care or community gardens or environment centres and actually physically boots on the ground, because you learn by doing that and being with around like-minded people, but helping the earth. It's amazing how that opens up. I started this doing that sort of environmental work, my gosh, 25 years ago or so. And just from my interest to understanding plants, just poof, and that was just, because you're giving back energetically in some sort of way. So, and then you just want to do it because you're there. It's just, you're part of that little circle, or it's a big circle, a chain in the link, as it were.
Yeah. Look, we have a question for you. What are your top 3 houseplants?
Oh, yeah. Okay. My top 3 houseplants. Okay. So my top 3 houseplants absolutely is, now I'm going to give you this in this sort of way. So not actual, I might give you actual ones, but a palm. You need a palm. Palms, have a look at the way they even grow. See, they've got all the like fingers out like that. Look, I'm looking like a palm. It can, negative energy, disperse. So a palm of some sort, any palm, you need one of those. Aloe vera, we were talking about that before we came on. We were having a chat. Aloe vera, of course, it's great for burns and all those sorts of things, but it is about regeneration. So you've got a plant that disperses energy. Aloe vera is fantastic. I'm looking at the writing. I should be looking at the camera. Sorry. You should be, it's about regeneration and health and healing. It's fantastic to have around for grief as well. So that's a really good one. And then the other plant I'm going to say is something that you feel drawn towards. So go to your local nursery, walk around, have a look, have a talk to the people there. I'm always surprised when I go to nurseries and even the nursery section in Bunnings and places like that, that I don't hear conversations with the staff. Those people that are in even the Bunnings section, in fact, probably, they're just the same. They're put in that section because they're gardeners and they're people who love doing those things. Ask them, they and if they don't know, they'll go and find somebody else there that does know. Ask them, well, do you think this will go good in my house? It's really cold, or, all these sorts of things you need to take into consideration as well. You need to, I don't know if that's a question, sorry, but something you're really drawn to. So go, don't be filled up with coffee and all this sort of stuff. The same as you would choose a crystal, okay? I'm not sure if, I didn't see the person's name. The same thing, go wander around and see what you get drawn to.
Fantastic.
Okay?
Now, Danielle is asking, what plant can you never, I think it's
me? What can I never live without?
Only one.
Only one that I could never live without. Oh my goodness, that's sort of like oh no, I know what it is. I absolutely know. And I'm smiling because I just absolutely love it. It's my crown of thorns. I absolutely love them. I'm addicted to them. There's something about how, and have a look it up, crown of thorns plant. They Ubilia. I think that's what they're Ubilia. I think it's UBI. Do you know, I'll just give you this tip beforehand. I used to struggle with Latin all the time, even at school. I went to a school that did Latin, selective school. I used to be smart once. Anyway, I used to struggle. And when I studied botany as well, there is no, and I want to say this for all the people who struggle as well. And I've had a bit of a speech impediment when I was young. So I find it hard sometimes to pronounce things. So, but the thing is, the botanical names of plants are all, they're not just Latin, they're ancient Greek and those things. They're dead languages. No one knows how they're supposed to be pronounced. So if you pronounce something, and that's true. So if you pronounce something and somebody comes along and goes, she's wrong, she didn't pronounce that right. It's like, well, how do you know? When was the last time you spoke to an ancient Roman? It's like, so there you go. So, but anyway, so crown of thorns, I can't do without it. I love it. It's very gnarly looking and it's got big spikes. It is thought that plant was the crown of thorns that Jesus had. They made the crown out of, but it has the most amazing paper, delicate, beautiful flowers and these great big leaves that come out, and then it all kind of goes back down again. There's something I love about that, that real regeneration thing, and they're quite an easy plant to have around. And I have one on my patio. I need more of them. No, I'm not really like that, but I just love having it around. That's it. There, I had to get euphorbia. Yeah, I was like, I did have that. You know what I thought I was going? It's euphorbia, milli, lily. That's exactly it. Well done, Daniel. Yeah. Euphorbia. I had half of it. Okay, hang on. Let me have a look. How do you harvest your herbs? Early in the morning and hang them in the kitchen dry. When dry, what do you use to pack them in? Oh, okay. Okay, that's a really good question. Depends on the herbs. Okay, so I actually prefer to dry mine air dry, and I use racks over clothes racks with cheesecloth on them as well, and try to air dry them. Now, a couple of you, or some people who might see this, know that I have two very young boxers, dogs, not. I don't have two young guys who are punching each other. I have two young boxer dogs. Yeah, they like jumping all over the place. So I do use that, and I have to move them around a bit. But I do have, I'm pointing over there. You guys can't see it. I do have an air dryer, and I'll use that for some things sometimes. And then packing them, I pack them in jar. Oh, hang on, which way? There's a few jars up there. Yeah. I'm hopeless with this camera. A few jars up there. So I usually do that. Some things I do freeze. It depends on what it is, and that's mostly culinary things, to be quite honest. But I like to dry things and pack them in sterilized jars. That's what I do. Sometimes I'll slowly oven dry things. But I don't like to use microwaves and those things, because I think energetically, even for things I want to eat or make medicinal things out of, I just think I know it takes that energy away from it. So the more natural that you can do it, so not even in an electric oven, so outside, and even the little electric dryer there, it's like outside if you can, air dry. Good question though. Good question. Okay, wow. I like all these questions you guys have. Because plants. I thought, what I thought that said giveaway ticket. I was going, is someone giving me a ticket? Where am I going? Because plants are good feng shui as well. Do you recommend a plant in each room? And is there a good position to put them in room? Yes. And this is going to sound like this full on, like, funny you should say that. I do actually mention it. I do actually mention it in the book, exactly where in the room different plants should be. However, here's the thing, it's no use with feng shui as well. And I do, I'm not an expert on feng shui, but I do look at it and do, I think it's fantastic. And there's, what's her name? Roxy. I'm going to say Laws. Yes, that's it. She's a Sydney lady who's fantastic in the Shire that specialises in feng shui. I've met her a couple of times, so she's a good person to talk to. And there's lots of people as well, and their books and things to have a look at. But Yes, but there's no use saying, well, my little money plant would be great in the, look, I'm going to make a mistake here, the southwestern corner or whatever. If that's damp, if that's particularly dry underneath an air conditioning vent or in a great big sunny window, because it's going to kill the plant. So you need to be able to go, well, what's close to that, or what plant could I put there as well? Good question. Yes, it does make a difference where you put them, but also plants first, okay? Because you're talking about putting a plant in a man-made place, okay? That's the whole thing. Where's the plant happier? Outside. And also, there is no such thing as house plants. They're just plants that grow in similar conditions to being inside the house. So they're the plants of the cliff faces, the cave entrances, the understories of forests as well. And so being in our houses, which maybe it's a bit more humid, it's filtered light, it's things like that, that is a house plant. There's none that they're not actually bred to be inside our houses. Although in saying that, of course, through hybridization, some plants have been bred to cope with it better.
Wow.
So
sorry, did I do a big like? Don't get me started on plant. You know what everyone says? All my friends are like, don't get us started. You just there's no off switch on plants.
Look, during the time of the pandemic, there's so many people are so stressed, anxiety, they're not sleeping well. Can you offer some recommendations to them on how to help them?
Yep. Now, this is going to sound really obvious. I was at our gardens. Mine aren't, I'm going to say lavender. That's what I'm going to say. But mine isn't flowering at the moment. But I did notice up at the community gardens today, they'd started flowering. You can have that in a pot plant as well. It's fantastic. It is the most beautiful plant to have around. Is your favourite?
Yes.
Because if you grow, and this is what I keep saying to people, don't mean you girls at all, but it's like we have become very divorced from the way plants grow and how they live and how they look. And I mean, there's probably a lot of people that have never seen chamomile grow, or maybe even lavender, so some of our younger folk mightn't have ever actually noticed. Now, lavender, we know the smell of it and the little purple things, but to actually nurture a lavender plant, the beautiful soft leaves, and the way that the beautiful grays that change, that greeny sagey gray that changes with the light as well, and the unfurling of the little petals as well. Being connected with the growing of something like that is so calming. It's not just the oil, it is the entire plant, its entire life that inspires that calmness and that cleansing as well. And it's a wonderful plant, and a fairly easy plant to grow as well. People just overwater it. It's from the Mediterranean region. So unfortunately, people think, lavender, it's like an English cottage garden, water. And it's like, stop it. It's from the Mediterranean. It's like, that's it. Yeah, you kill it all the time. You probably water it too much, Sherry. Stop watering it. Stop it. Be meaner to it. It grows in coastal areas. So those of you around, like you usually see in Sydney, it grows quite well. It likes sort of that coastal, bit semi-dry area. So most people overwater it. So what you would have seen, Sherry, is probably underneath it starts going black. Is that right? And then that's like moldy, yucky. And you overplant it. People put other things too close to it, so it increases the microclimate becomes smaller. The humidity goes up. No good. For that. And Sherry, if you're also north, I'm realizing this is going all over the place. So if you're too far north, you can't grow lavender very well. Usually up in, say, where my parents are, and my brother is up in far north Queensland, not really going to grow there. But you could grow it inside. You could give it a go at growing inside. So that's a really good one. But also houseplants in particular. The lovely prayer plant, quite a popular plant. I've been actually painting the prayer plant. Have I got one here? I have. There it is there. There you go, meditation. There you go. That's a prayer plant.
Oh, nice.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, so the prayer plant, that's a really good one too, and it's quite popular in nurseries, quite easy to grow as well. It's about meditation, obviously prayer, self-love and care as well, a lovely one. But any plant that you just look after. You know, that's it. That will bring us calmness. And you know, we're making jokes about, oh, everyone's going to Bunnings and getting into gardenings now. I'm like, come on, go and do it. There's a lot of people going to make a few mistakes. It's like anything, but you'll learn as well. And I'm hoping that these people keep going. Just being connected with it in any way is that will bring a calmness and a happiness to you as well.
Yeah.
You're always happy gardening. Oh, here's another one. How do I nourish a spiritual? Okay, great. Veronica, that's a good question. You nourish the spirit. I was talking about a little bit earlier, and that is being involved on a global scale as well. I want to say global, a community as well. So it's not just about doing things for yourself. It's connecting somehow with other people. And community gardening is in going out, helping other people do their gardens who can't garden. I've learnt so much I helped in the Manly Environment Centre by doing admin work for them when they needed it, helping set up art things. But it was all about helping the environment, and that opened up that spiritual relationship and talking to other people. I bang on about community gardens all the time. Even if you can only give an hour weeding a month at a community garden, you're there, you're helping. Oh yeah, sorry, there was another one popping up. You're there, you're helping, and that's how. And it's amazing how that just opens up. You know, again, it opens up that spiritual relationship. One-on-one, it's finding out everything about the plant as well, Veronica. I love botanical history, so it's like if you find out what you're drawn to, journal. A lot of people who follow me see that I'm always journaling. I draw. It doesn't matter if you can't draw. Like I'm an okay artist now, but I'm not the greatest drawer in the world. So sketching, writing about it, finding out where did the plant come from, understanding the plants that grow around you as well, Veronica. So, and the ones you like. So find out, where did they come from originally? Why are they here? Why are you drawn to them? Maybe it's because, I'm just going to throw this out there, maybe you really like thistles and you live in Australia, you know, and you find out, oh, they come from Scotland. Oh, I have Scottish ancestry. That's the language of plants. You know, that is opening up that thing. So, and then finding out what do people in Scotland, you know, use, you know, what does it mean to them, the symbolism. It's not just going, oh, I like this, it's purple and that's it. It's actually going deeper and with respect, finding out about how different cultures have used plants as well through and this is ethnobotany, which is people and plants, that study. So what have they used it for? And that's for arts and crafts and therapeutically, you know, for their medicines, even their beauty products, building, everything. And it's amazing how you can see what the meanings are and how it opens that relationship and you get to know the plant. I did a lot of study with the Guy lily a couple of years ago, just because I was really interested in it about 2 or 3 years ago. And I just find now when I see them, it's like I know that plant, you know, it's like I know it, you know, because I studied so much about Indigenous use and even colonial times, what people thought of it and just all the different things about it. And I just really feel a close relationship with Guy lily. I don't grow any here, but when I see them, it's like, hey, I know you. I know your soul. I know about you. So yeah. That sounds a bit woo-woo, but it's the truth. It's just, yeah, that's how you do it. Hope that helps, Veronica. That was like a long answer. Sorry.
That's how I said. So
there you go.
I love weeds, dandelions. So I don't even think they're a weed. I think they're quite useful, if I'm correct.
You are correct. They're very, very good for detoxing. You know, like you can make different, and anything that I'm saying as well. Yay! You like that Sherry loves dandelions too. Everybody loves dandelions. They're great for detox. The dandelion tea, a substitute for coffee as well. Lots of parts of the plants are used that way. Anything that I'm saying in this as well, identification is key. If you're not sure, don't touch. Any weeds that are growing, you know, outside of your property or somewhere that you know, please don't use them, even, you know, on your skin and that, because councils in different places spray things. You don't know what's happened to them, so don't. You need things that are organically grown. But dandelions are interesting. They are the most widespread weed And a weed is simply a plant that is growing somewhere that is it's in competition with what's native as well. Are dandelions really in competition? A little bit in some places, but they're spread all over the world on every continent except the Antarctic. And here's a magical thing. When we blow the dandelion head, the seed head, okay, so that goes back to a time when it was thought, we don't even know when, that when you blow it, you make a wish. So it means that you are helping the fairies spread the dandelion seed so that more can grow. So obviously we all wanted so many wishes, we've blown it all over the world, but botanists now don't even know where dandelions sort of started. They don't even know where they originated from because we've blown them everywhere. So they're everywhere. But they're a very good one. So there's lots of things. There's I don't have it around me. There's a fantastic Australian book called The Weed Forager's Handbook. And I'm really naughty because I was talking about it the other day and someone said, didn't Costa from Gardening Australia write that? I said, no, he wrote the foreword. And I can't remember the name of the person, but it's the Weed Forager's Handbook. Fantastic for identification, use of weeds as well, and therapeutic qualities, and also culinary things as well. It's only a little book and it's very good. It's been out for a few years and I know it's readily available everywhere. So Sherry and the people who are wondering about weeds, that's my highly recommended one. So there you go.
If you have a cat or a dog at home,
Yes.
would there be any special plants that they would love or that would be nourishing for them?
Okay, that's I'm laughing. I'm going, yeah, all the plants in my backyard. It's so naughty, so naughty. Oh, only a mad person, only someone crazy has an 18-month-old and a 6-month-old boxer. Let me tell you, it's like madness. Oh yes. Anyway, yeah, let's ask the girls. Wake them up. Mum's roses, delicious.
Oh, no.
Look, therapeutically, you need to. There are some, but some are quite poisonous as well. Of course, your cats, like your catnips and your cat grass and all those things, and they're really good things to grow. You need to be, yeah, there you go, catnip. Sherry, you are like my little champion there. Absolutely, your catnip and cat grass is good. For dogs, I've heard of a few different things. I don't like to actually recommend everything. I think that you need to make that decision on your own and speak to vets who are, are fay with those sorts of things and what they recommend. Or same as humans, some dogs can have allergies to things. I've got one. Yeah. I don't know. My one of my lovely dogs who passed away a few months ago. She had a terrible allergy to grass. Like if she went, her whole body just came up. So that's your other thing. So anything that you decide to try in small quantities, the same as with humans as well. And also there's a lot of things that you can't have around pets and cats or young children even. And there's things that are okay for, us that aren't okay. Peace lilies, beautiful peace lilies, highly toxic to cats and dogs. You really can't. And it's just them chewing on a leaf, as some people in this house do. So I've had to, I've actually yesterday on Facebook, we've put new shelves and outside, and that's to put quite a few of the plants that I have that are toxic, because Lily and Daisy cannot be trusted. and I don't want a horrible accident. Yeah.
It's time to do a giveaway.
It is.
It's time to do the giveaway. Okay.
Yes. So Cherayln has very kindly given us 3 books and some artwork.
No, I do. And 3 artworks.
What was it?
I do have 3. No, I have. Oh no, I have. I don't know how many you want to. Oh.
I can't remember what it was.
Altogether, we have 3 books and 3 artworks. That's what we have.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wow. Oh, can I just say, courtesy? It's not courtesy of me. I mean, the artworks are courtesy of Rockpool Publishing. So that's who's kindly donated 3 books to the podcast. So yes, which is lovely. So thank you.
The question is, for those who have been listening to the whole show, is where is a good place to put your Venus flytrap?
There you go. Very good.
Yeah, that was why I asked. So just in case people can't hear me, I will write it down. And the first 3 people, where is a good place to put a Venus flytrap.
That's it. I did mention it.
There we go. Let's see who was listening. And in the meantime, we were talking to you about a little problem. Yep, Michelle Ravlich, number one. Right. We were talking to you about a certain phase that some ladies might be going through.
Yes, we were.
Sherry's got the second one.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
answer now. And Danielle's got the
Yay!
third.
Hey, there you go.
Michelle,
Well done,
Sherry.
girl.
And one of those books is going to Ireland, so I will get that over to her if that's too far for Rockpool to send.
That's all right. We'll work that out. That's lovely. Thank you, and thank you for listening. That's lovely, ladies. That's lovely.
Yeah. So the ladies of a certain age who have sort of flushes and issues, what could you recommend for us? I mean, those ladies.
Like you were asking for a friend. Yeah. We were talking about aloe vera before, a lovely plant to have around because it's cooling. You know, you have a look at that. It's cooling. It's also about regeneration. And I don't know, like a friend I know was quite emotional at that time. And it's very good for balancing emotions as well. There's another plant called elephant ear. Mightn't like the name, but it's very grounding. And that's good too, because some of us, not me, but few friends I know might feel, a little bit ungrounded as well. So elephant ear is actually another good one too. But you can't go wrong. I think one of the other lovely ladies asked me before the 3 plants, and aloe vera is a really good one. If you get burns, you can just cut it, and the gel inside, you just rub it on burns, cuts as well. It's really good for those things. It's just such a handy thing, and it makes pups, which is new little plants, really easily. And all you need is a sharp knife. You just cut it out and then put the new little one in another pot, and off you go. I've just given a whole lot to my neighbours. I've been like, here you go, aloe vera plants.
And I'd also like to mention that Cherayln has a free course available on her website at the moment. Could you tell us about that? And I'll put the website up for them.
Absolutely. I do online courses, and at the moment I've got a talisman creation course. So how long ago is it now? Maybe about 12, 13 years ago, I taught this course in person, and people saw my workshops and they wanted to do it online. So I did develop it. It's a very extensive course, and I haven't had it actually for sale for probably about 4 or 5 years, but it's very popular about 10 years ago. So it's how to cast things into resins. It's how to use the 2-part epoxies to make, the little faces with the little things around that people like. It's how to do, my favorite thing actually is assemblage, which is using old jewelry and putting it together to make a talisman out of it as well. So it's talismans and amulets as well. So it's quite extensive. It's completely free. You don't need to sign up. You don't have to give me anything. I'm not, I don't collect names for it or anything. There's just a link there. Just go. That's it. You can share it with your friends. That's fine. So, and I'm still happy to answer questions about it too. So if you're doing something that's on it, and I'd love to see what you make too. That's what I'd love to see that. But I should bring in myself into the hashtag talismans or something. So, but it's a fun course. So it's open for anybody with no strings attached. So on my website.
Excellent. Well, we're going to finish up, but you better do that because people can't hear you.
Yes, apparently the microphone is not working well, so I'm going to go right in. I don't know why. You're fine. It's just us. So would like to say thank you so much for being with us this evening. I've totally enjoyed this, and I've got so much information out of it. So
thank you for being in my studio tonight. It's so lovely. I feel like I've had like a little party in the studio. I've loved it. Thank you.
Yeah. Full moon party.
Yeah, and thank you for putting up with our technical glitches that have been going on. I've been trying to work through it as we go.
It's okay.
Don't know what's going on with the microphone.
Look, that's life. We've managed this. It's fine. Thank you so much for having me as a guest. I've really, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
And what radio station can they catch you on?
You can catch me every Saturday morning on Coast FM Gosford, and it's from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Sydney, Australia time. And it's live on air. You can ring up from anywhere as well, and we stream online as well. So it's the Gardening Gang. It's myself and Pete Little, who's a radio legend, and he's mentoring me at the moment. moment so I can learn all about radio. And we have a different topic every week. And we also take calls from people. Well, I'm the one who takes all the calls because Pete's learning gardening and I'm the gardening gangster. I don't want to be the gardening gangster. That's what they call me around the station. But yeah, so it's a fun show. So, and it's actually got really good classic hit music. So and I do have a little bit of a like, let's play Ichiku Park again. And everyone's like, no. And I like, so the music's cool too. So thanks for that.
Thank you so very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
Do the rap so that I can't say anything.
We love you. We hope we get to see you in person one day, which would be fantastic.
Yes, all right. Well, keep safe and bunches of love, and may nature always bless you. But much more importantly, may you and everyone listening always be a blessing to nature. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
bye.
on that note, we say good night to everyone, and go out there and soak up that full moon energy that is out there, everyone. It is beautiful tonight. See you next time.
See you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Stay there.